All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Houston Texans. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Watson on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. First carry for Trenton Cannon. Desmond Trufant there making the tackle.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. Watson on 3rd down. To the sideline, and that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he's got room. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a handoff for Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on third down.
Reset. Target.
A shotgun snap for Watson, escaping the pressure right. And that is incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here we go on fourth. Watson eluding the pressure, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line.
22.
From the shotgun, Ryan. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so,
trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football, this is what every back in the league is supposed to do, exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Clock running under a minute to go in a scoreless first quarter. On 2nd down, Freeman. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Gun.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Ryan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They'll try and throw for him with Ryan. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Texans defense stands tall. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10, right at the 30. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And some room to work. Shifts past him at the 45. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On 1st down, Watson flushed out right. He's letting this one go for Fuller. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Back to the air, Watson on 2nd down. He sets to fire deep. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And he'll actually lose about 7 yards on the return, but they have possession of the football on the turnover. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. He's going to let this one go. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio on the year. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. Bryant's extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And then finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Todd Gurley, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Hey, Tuesday.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. This one complete to Devontae Freeman. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 45 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
A first down carry for Smith. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good gain. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And some room to roam now. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48-yard line.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48.
Reset.
Now Watson. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Tack McKinley in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Richmond.
Out of the gun, Watson. His throw incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Ryan, they'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. Back deep, Bruce Ellington. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag, punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. On 2nd down, here's Watson, dancing to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Now a stoppage here for an injury. And oh boy, that looks to be the quarterback, Watson. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The Texans on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Get up! Hey! Get up! Wait! Raise it up!
Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, Ryan. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Freeman. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like
into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. To throw is Morris. On first down, flush to his right. That is caught. Hopkins for the Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins as the first half is winding down. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Well, the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You're probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
And that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for second down. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Carlos Watkins in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Operating from the gun, Ryan. And the pressure gets to him again. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Here's Matt Bosher now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Here's Ellington. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. They run. It's Gurley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw on 2nd down. Morris. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. Now Morris operating from the gun. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
Morris now throwing on 4th down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is going to be incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 43. Trying to get the run game going. Here's Smith. Carlos Watkins in there for the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Carlos Watkins getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. From the gun, Ryan. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Freeman. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 3.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Operating from the gun, Ryan looking middle, and it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. He's going to get it running right. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have broken our tie. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Now it's Ellington to return. And he's got some space here. Muscling free near the 40. And what a return. He's all the way down to the 30.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Looking to throw. Morris. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like they're...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Alford. Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 30, 20, 10, 5. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, we know this defense has athleticism. Spots like that prove us right.
I love the way that you spotlighted the athleticism because you and I both know the best athletes on the field, they play on defense.
Oh, I don't know. I was a kicker. You got to remember that now.
Come on, come on.
Fine. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being. Here's Morris throwing after the interception. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Morris from the gun, he'll throw. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in.
He's got a man, complete. That goes as a gain of 36 on third down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking to
pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Tech McKinley in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. To throw is Morris. To throw on second down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on third.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? The Texans on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Flex round! Flex round!
Now Morris operating from the gun. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Let's go! 190! 190! Flex round! Flex round!
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Room here to run. And a return across midfield into the 46-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
After the interception, here's Ryan. He's going to rifle one deep left. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown. Bryant now to tack on the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, now he bowls him over. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now out comes Houston. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Ready for it.
They've got Morris now on third down. Going deep for Hunt. And got his man complete. It's a big play on third down for the Texans. And even 40 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred. Still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Now it's Gurley. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up with that
pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there